Does anyone else think it's a little weird that Las Vegas is exactly 14 million meters away from the South Pole? That's like, I mean, like in the middle of the hub of everywhere there. Just a coincidence. Well, sees the acoustic ripples on the back of this alligator's neck. See that? That's what I'm talking about here. Acoustics applied to the ground and even water, creating standing waves and different ripples and different interference patterns. Each of the bell towers can act like a specific transmitter. Individually, they don't do much, but when you culminate all the waves of each of them together, you get incredible outcomes. Everything from targeted earthquakes to potential Havana syndrome sonic weapon technology that no one can seem to explain where it's coming from. Wonder where it's coming from.
Cap. No way. Bullshit. Absolutely not. If I wrote back and said, oh, holy shit, what the fuck?
These things are, as our illustrious congresswoman says, a sign from God. God is sending us signals that America needs to repent.
You don't repent and pay tribute to your nearest king, God won't make your lands bountiful or send an earthquake, or not even like a couple weeks before I start talking about this, and they're already out there claiming it.
If you aren't capable of believing,
I think that's rude.
Especially up to level 5. So
You got one side telling you it's
Kiss my
God,
ass.
you got the other side telling you it's
I'm a member
nature,
of Congress.
neither of which you can do anything about.
Why the fuck would we?
It's really simple.
Our culture does not demand pyramid. Just no reason to. We have no purpose for pyramids or otherwise accoutrement.
I'm going to briefly explain Nikola Tesla's idea for keeping a wireless thumb on ships at sea. It's an idea of his that sets up a global resonant grid that can be utilized for measuring any ship's location anywhere. Have the Earth, and you're going to put a transmitter on top and a transmitter at the equator. You may want to have another transmitter polar opposite, but it might not entirely be necessary. If this transmitter sends out wave pulses going around the world this way to be reconverged at the bottom here, and then they continue going past around, we go back. If the wave frequency or wavelength is resonant to the polar circumference of the Earth, it will set up standing waves across the whole globe, going north to south. Then, if you have a pyramid on the equator, similarly sends waves this way. They continue around the Earth that way and come back. It'll set up a longitude and latitude grid of standing waves going this way and standing waves going this way. Because the polar circumference is smaller than the equatorial circumference. The polar circumference equals the equatorial circumference equals the grid that comes across here. Any ship, water blue, some creativeness going here. I don't know what the heck that was, but that's the sail. That's me on there, who doesn't know how to sail. Let's say we have a Tesla coil on the ship. If we put a small Tesla coil on the ship that's connected into the water anywhere on the Earth, let's say longitude and latitude, whatever this coil up here is tuned to, the plate capacitor here, L1, L2, C2, C1. The specific chosen L2, C2 will determine what frequencies this coil resonates at and what will allow signals to go up, just like an acoustic Helmholtz resonator does. Because of the inductance and the specific capacitance, certain frequencies will resonate with it and have easy passage up into the collector, fill up with charges around the top. No, that one doesn't work. Yeah, that, fill up with charges at the top, and then go back down, and then come back up. So the charges will oscillate up and down in the Tesla coil on the ship, and depending on where you're at on the Earth, you will have a different amplitude or wave packet, or depending on the characteristics of these chosen waves, this coil will resonate to the combination of the two waves in a very specific way to wherever it is on the planet. Additionally, different wave packets can be sent out such that you can encode information in there so that wherever you're at, the way that that wave packet's either expanded or contracted, depending on where it is in amplitude around the Earth, you can determine your location on the Earth anywhere by correlating this coil. I'm oversimplifying it right now to make it clear and understandable, but there's a little more complicated equations to solving this and making it so that you can actually use it. Another way is to have multiple coils on the ship spread a specific distance apart, and the signal's resonant to this one versus this one. The amplitude of this gives you different positions for everywhere or at different places around on the ship. This was to do this all electrically. However,